Well, hello, boomers. Welcome. Thank you for joining me today. How we doing? Hope you're healthy and happy. And this is going to be part 2 of our little talk on famous quotes. This is the Boomer Island Podcast. Welcome ashore, friends. Well, all right, everybody. Thank you for joining me today. And last time, part 1, famous quotes, we talked about FDR's quote, "We have nothing to fear but fear itself," which was actually the only thing we have to fear is fear itself. And I asked you to ponder, what do you fear? What are you scared of? Well, I started pondering it, and I put fear into 2 categories. First category, direct fear. And this is fear that is a clear and present danger in real time. For example, like someone points a gun at your face, or you're on a plane and it's going down. These scenarios, they might not scare you, to each his own, but we all have experienced some type of fear at some point in our lives in the present moment. And the second one is mind fear. And this is the fear that has your brain jumping to the worst conclusion. Any parent can relate to this if they've ever lost their child in a crowd, or it even could be something as simple as someone not getting back to your text when they always do, and then your brain goes to a dark, negative place. Okay, to that end, I want to tell you one experience I had with 2 of my children. I had my 2 boys skiing up in Lake Tahoe. This was years ago. So my son was only they were probably 14 and 12. And we were on a steep run at the end of the day, and the sun had been out all day. Well, now the sun was over the mountaintops, and this particular run was in the shade, so it had gotten icy, unbeknownst to us. We were going up for our last run of the day. We go, wow, that looks like a good run. So I went down a couple turns and tested it out, and it was slick. So I looked back up the hill, and I told my boys, be super careful. This is icy. And my youngest, he started out and just bonsai'd. Next thing you know, he was sliding. He lost his edge, and he started digging in. He was skiing. My other son was snowboarding. He was trying to dig in his poles. It was steep. He couldn't plant them. And the next thing you know, his skis went flying off, and he was basically a human luge just catapulting towards the edge of the run. And for those of you who have skied, in certain runs, it just dips off, and then it's tree line. And he just launched off the edge and went flying and disappeared. And my brain just went into freak out mode. And I looked back at my oldest son, and I said, "Don't effing move." And I skied down as fast as I could, just thinking to myself, my son is not going to die today. But I was just thinking, oh my God, the worst, And then when I got over the edge, I'm looking, and then I heard him screaming, and I thought, okay, at least he didn't perish. So I went down, and there was this tree that I love this tree because it saved his life. It could have killed him if he had hit the trunk, but he went flying into the branches, and he was all scratched up. It looked like he'd, been ran through a sandblaster or something, and he ended up blowing out his knee, but he was, okay. So that is an example of just fear at its highest form, which was a mind fear. It wasn't clear and present danger to me, but man, it felt like my son had been swept away in a whitewater river, and all of a sudden I couldn't do anything. Just in one instant, New York minute, you're sitting there, next minute you're like, holy shit. So that's the power of the mind and the fear in our mind. And I think mind fear is what FDR was talking about. I think that's kind of obvious. Because if we worry too much and are paranoid about what could happen, we can't get on with the business of solving the problem at hand. So let me ask you a question. Does your mind often wander off into negative scenarios and outcomes? You're driving down the road just thinking about all the bullshit in your life and what could happen if I don't do this or that doesn't happen. Well, life's always going to have problems and challenges and things to be concerned about, things that aren't going your way. But we need to control our fear over things that haven't happened yet. Studies have shown that about 85% of everything we worry about never come to pass. All that precious time worrying about something that will never happen. And this illustrates the tendency of us people to have catastrophic thinking, which doesn't help solve our problems. So you might ask, how do I ease my paranoid, anxiety, fear-filled worries? Here's some ideas that I dug up. Okay, you ready? It's going to be a test later. Mindful meditation. Just practice staying present to reduce those anxious thoughts. Deep breathing. Calm your nervous system. Slow, deep breaths. Challenge your negative thoughts. Analyze and reframe irrational fears. Have gradual exposure. Face fears in small steps and build confidence. Seek support. Talk to friends, family, or a professional about your concerns. Regular exercise, physical activity can alleviate stress and boost your mood. Limit stimulants. Well, there goes your crack and your crystal meth. You got to reduce caffeine and alcohol intake as they can worsen anxiety. Establish a routine. A structured day can provide a sense of control. We have assumed control. Educate yourself. Education. Understand the source of your fears to address them effectively. And then you have positive affirmations. Just repeat those positive statements to counteract negative thoughts. So remember, the only thing you have to fear is fear itself. And if we keep working on our mental health, we're all going to have a more productive, enjoyable time here on this spinning planet that is our home. So thanks for joining me today on Boomer Island. And the song for today is by the great Stevie Wonder. Don't you worry about a thing. Till next time, peace and love. See ya.